special day. This is a very special time. Show me a hill I can climb. Give me a mountain to move, and I'll prove that it's a very special day. I woke up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day. Up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day.
Very special day it is. It is a Friday. That means my partner in crime, my co-host this morning, is Holly Thompson. Good morning, Holly.
Good morning.
In the hot seat this morning, we're so glad to have him in. A very, very busy man, but he took time for us this morning. We're gracious to have him in here. We have our own mayor, Justin Green. Good morning, mayor of the city of Salem.
Good morning all.
I've been watching, they have all these, they're doing Wizard of Oz now, coming out. It's called Wicked.
Oh, yeah.
And so I just want to say the mayor of this city.
Well, that's similar to the mayor of Whoville, isn't it?
There you go. Oh, you don't even. I love that.
No, okay.
Yeah, now you're going to put that seat in now.
Yeah, I've heard it a time or two.
I love it. I love that. Love that. Love that. Well, we're so glad to have you with us this morning. Going to find out some great things. But Holly, let's thank our sponsors.
We would like to thank Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Rosa's, Fox Curly Wealth Management, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Marshall Monuments, and McAllister Lane Consulting. Thank you, sponsors.
All right, thank you to our great sponsors. Holly, let's real quick, we're going to see what today is. Today is the 25th day of October. Today is Frankenstein Day. Frankenstein.
I used to watch the old Frankensteins.
Remember when Abbott Costello meets Frankenstein? Remember that?
Well,
I love the good
Those are just classics.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. Well, I'm thinking, he was so misunderstood. He didn't have a voice. And, he didn't like fire, which is okay. Some people don't. And they waved it in front of his face. He didn't, he had probably daddy issues, probably.
Probably.
So, and he had a lot going on. Probably couldn't find clothes, couldn't change his clothes very often, didn't have the wardrobe that.
Okay, there's that.
His shoes, trying to find new shoes.
Young Frankenstein would be a little.
Oh my goodness.
A little more my speed.
Me too.
Yeah.
Is that not the best?
Oh my
Is that
gosh.
not hilarious? Now you got me wanting to watch that.
Yeah.
That is. Have you seen it?
No.
Peter Boyle.
Oh, it is hilarious.
Hysterical.
The hump. Remember?
Yeah.
I
Right.
love it. There's so many things I quote.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you got me wanting to watch that. On Frankenstein Day. How apropos, right?
What's the quote? Set a give.
Yeah. That's funny. That's very funny. That's
Okay.
very funny. Global Champagne Day. Just have a glass of champagne when you're watching it.
I'm not a big champagne person.
Not necessarily. We're going to put that on hold. I do believe we got a call this morning real quick, and we're going to jump in and find out who we have with us. Hi, good morning. Who do we have with us this morning?
Hey, Becky, this is Nick Applegate with Hoosier Help.
All right, Nick, I knew one of you guys. So glad to have you with us, Nick. Of course, this is Becky. I also have our mayor, Justin Green, in the studio, and Holly Thompson with Salem Crossing. So, Nick, tell us what you got going on.
So we are planning the trip here, October the 31st through November the 3rd. We are going down to North Carolina. It's actually the Green Mountain area, and Hoosier's Help is going down there along with a lot of volunteers. We're going to be taking down some heavy equipment, chainsaws, a lot of manpower, and we're just going to be helping out the folks in that area.
I love that. And the reason that we wanted to make sure you got on this morning was because Sunday's the cutoff deadline for volunteers that want to go. Is that right? Or tell us about that.
Yeah. So Sunday is the cutoff for the sign up on the volunteers, and that way that gives us time to get everything organized before we head out that Thursday.
What's involved with being a volunteer? Do you have to have your own truck? Do you have to have your own car? What is a volunteer? What does it have to do? I guess provide.
So a volunteer can really be anybody. There's some that will ride along with a lot of us if we have room in our vehicles, or there has been times in the past where we've had churches will volunteer like a church van, and then they'll take a church van down full of people. But yes, there's a lot of different ways that you can I guess come down on the trip. And being a volunteer, it's a lot of it is there's a lot of manual labor that's involved down there, but it's not all manual labor. There's a lot of volunteers that serve meals all throughout the day. They go around and visit folks and talk to people just to see truly what their needs are, and if we can help out to try to meet those needs.
Have you been in contact with North Carolina, like to ask them, like, because I know you're going to be bringing, like a parade, which what a blessing our community, and I know the mayor's got to be very happy about this too, and Holly, we're going to talk about Holly's done a lot too, and for different fundraisers, but for when a community comes together, Nick, it's like it's so mighty and so powerful. But did North Carolina, have they told you, like, do they need what their needs are, or have you been in contact with them? Or
yeah, so the place that we're actually going, it's called Bailey Settlement, and which I'm sure that it's on Green Mountain or somewhere there close to Green Mountain. But they are so excited about us coming down. So most of the help that has been in that area is gone, and it generally happens 4 to 6 weeks, and the help starts to dwindle away. When we told them that we were going to be coming down with heavy equipment and a lot of manpower, they're speechless. They don't really know what to say. They're so grateful for us coming down. They get so much out of this, but I've been doing this since 2021, and each time that I've went on a trip, seeing the folks that we help out, what they get from this, but then what we bring home from doing this, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Love that. So also, okay, so let's say that we can't go. We can't get it in the schedule to go volunteer. But so what could we do? What do you need? What supplies do you need?
So if you can go to Hoosier's Help, we have a Facebook page, and on there is a link that you can fill out. And with this link, you can either sign up to be a volunteer, or you can sign up to donate. If you want to donate, that is the best way to do it. And what we really need right now is just funds. We have the funding for fuel, our trucks, all the equipment, but we need funding for a lot of our food, because we're taking. There's going to be a food truck that's going down, and right now, a lot of those people are only getting one meal a day, which it's crazy to even say things like that, because we think the United States and we all get 3 meals, but that area has only been getting 1 meal a day. So we're bringing a food truck down, and all of the food that we're going to be serving, we're going to be able to provide all of these folks 3 meals a day during the whole time we're down there. So we need funding for food. That's probably our biggest need right now.
So, or even like if someone maybe has gift cards too, because when you get there, if you have to go, to a local, or I guess, or do they even have local stores because electricity, right? They might not even have that.
Yeah, so there's nothing right now. Communication, there's no cell service there. They are predicting that power will not be restored till sometime late February. So yeah, it's a pretty rough place right now.
Well, you guys are shakers and movers, and I'm a huge fan of yours, of the group, of the Hoosier Helpers. You guys do mighty things, and I love that. I'm also a huge fan of you, Nick, because I love your family. I know a lot of your family, and I think I'm so proud of you, and I know they'd be very proud of you and being a part of this. And I hope that this gets the word out. If anybody, there's something actually for everybody to do. If you can't physically be there, maybe you can help, financially, or, definitely the number one thing is to be praying for these people.
Yes, yeah, you're absolutely right. 2 years ago, we went down to Mayfield when they had that tornado, and there was an older gentleman that went with Hoosier's help, and he wasn't able to do much manual labor, but he was able to go around and talk to people and just fellowship with people and pray for families, and they were speechless by that. And I will always remember that because I just thought that was so important. It's just being able to go and communicate with these people when really they just feel like they don't have anybody.
Right. Well, and that's so important, and when they see, there's nothing like it whenever you're maybe down or out or whatever, and then you see people coming in and you see their kindness, you see their hearts, you see their we're here to help. And I think you're right. I think you brought up a good point that sometimes, after 4 to 6 weeks we think, oh, everything's going to be fine. You know what I mean? Or we kind of, you go on and it's not. There's still needs, there's still a lot. So so what date are you thinking of leaving then? What's the cutoff deadline for people that want to donate items?
So we are leaving on the 31st of October.
Okay, 31st, okay.
And I believe that we would probably need to have everything by the 23rd and latest of 24th.
Okay.
I believe that's correct. And what we're going to be doing down there this time, we're going to be putting in a bridge, a crosswalk bridge, so they can actually get across to certain areas where they need to go. We're going to be, right now, a lot of those folks are being heated by fires and firewood. There's plenty of that down there. So we're going to be a lot of cutting up wood for firewood and just a lot of cleanup. A lot of these folks did not have, they didn't have insurance, so their insurance didn't cover this. So they're in complete loss and devastation. So anything we're doing, they're going to be really thankful for.
How are you doing, like, the perishable food? Like, because if there's not electricity, do you need generators, or how are you doing that?
So we have generators that we're going to be taking down with us. We're bringing down a lot of fuel. From what I understand, I believe we're about an hour away from a gas station, but I could be wrong on that. But we're bringing down plenty of fuel, generators, so we're going to be able to keep all the trailers, to the correct temperature for all the food and everything.
Well, if there's anything else that we can help get the word out, Nick, I know we kind of did this early, and I'm so happy that that we got a chance to get you to call in, because but I think definitely praying for the volunteers too, and it's hard because everybody works and everybody's got 1,000 things going, and so hats off and a shout out to all of those volunteers coming and making a difference and completely giving a sacrifice to help others, and which will be much needed for sure.
Yes.
And how many volunteers do you have already, approximately?
I believe we have roughly about 20, 25 years.
That's awesome.
Going.
That's fantastic. Yeah. you have any questions or anything?
Yeah, just besides the Facebook page, Nick, is if somebody has another way they'd like to donate and don't have that access, is there another option by chance?
Yes. So I would say probably the second option is if you could call into Mount Tabor Christian Church, and they would be able to the office there. They would be able to walk you through on different ways that you could donate.
Do you have that number, Nick, or is that we just look it up?
That I probably do have that number somewhere, but you can. It's on our it's Mount Tabor Christian Church. It's on our Facebook page, and then if you Google Mount Tabor Christian Church, the number should be there as well.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else we missed, Nick, or did we cover most of the bases there on everything?
I think that's it.
Okay. Well, we want to remind everybody you have till this Sunday if you want to go and be a volunteer, and if you have certain skills, you know what I mean. If you're good at building, or can hammer, or or chainsaw, or or maybe serve food, or whatever you can do. They need to get the volunteer head count. I understand that by this Sunday. So, and then after that, we'll just keep bringing stuff in, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Well, Hoosier Helpers, you guys are really, this is not your first rodeo. You guys have done, several helping out, and we applaud you, and definitely, thank you for all you guys do and organizing this, and hope that it just, I think it's going to be a huge blessing for North Carolina.
I think it will be too.
All right. Well, Nick, please call or text or let me know if there's anything else that was okay.
Yeah, I was going to say great job, and hats off to all the volunteers and yourself, Nick. That's wonderful. That's great Hoosier hospitality, and certainly representation of Salem and Washington County.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
I got the number for it was not Tabor
Yes.
Church,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
812-755-4696.
4696. Okay, awesome. Thank you for that, Holly. And Nick, keep up the great work. And I know your daddy and grandpa will be very, very proud of you. Okay.
Well, thank you. Yep, I appreciate that.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day home. Okay.
Yep.
Bye bye. All right. Wonderful. I just love that.
I do too.
And okay, we go back, and let's go back to every one of us. Well, Holly had the tornado that was dramatic, or was traumatic. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then Mayor, let's talk about, when we had our flood,
Right.
And that was just a taste, a little bit. Well, not your tornado was a degree, a huge, and not that our flooding was it, but
still not the severity some of those folks
yeah.
down there.
And I remember, and going back, like with the tornado, going back with the flood that we had, like I remember that, and not to knock the federal government and helping, they do great, but it takes a little time to get that activated. And I remember, like, we need people need to eat tonight. People need to be, they need a head, somewhere to lay their head down tonight,
you need
a bed.
a place to sleep. You need
food,
clothes,
shelter.
You need warmth or cool, whatever, depending on what the elements are outside. That's why I'm like, when he said the electricity wasn't coming back on until February, I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So then you wonder, where are they sheltering in place at? Are they going to be warm enough through the winter months? I know they have wood, but is it chopped up?
No, right.
Do they have the means to build the fire? Like, do all of those, do they have the means to cook? Are they having to cook out? Like, all those things go through my head. What about the water? Because they're going to have to heat the water up to bathe or whatever. And all those things go through my head because, again, through the tornado, I still had a place to go to and put my head down. I was thankful enough that, like, that area is just devastated. I can't even imagine. I watch it, and I kept watching. When it happened, I watched it for like 2 weeks straight, and my heart just goes out to them. But it's like all those things go through your head, and it's an hour away for them to get gas. I could go to Borden, or I could go to Salem and get gas when it's just, I don't know. My heart just goes out to those folks right now.
I agree.
Well, and to that point, Holly, I think Nick makes a good point, and the time that lapses after the event, those 2 or 3 weeks, you do get a rush of help.
Yeah.
But those needs often go on, and so that his timing is probably perfect.
Yeah.
And I understand
Like
that.
the second wave.
The second wave.
Yeah.
And it does remind us, you're right, Becky, you know, the flood had a lot of instances where after those 48 hours or so, you know, sure, we're all knee deep in mud, and then it dries, and, you know, 2-3 weeks later, you know, you kind of get into a routine, but not everybody's in a routine.
No.
Right.
You know, and there was a lot of folks in our community, just as you're saying, Holly, that you know, it takes a good amount of while to find that what they resemble.
And it's like, do they have enough blankets? Do they have coats? Do they have hats? Like, all those things go through my brain, because I know, me personally, like, after the tornado, 2 or 3 days after the tornado hit my house, it snowed.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I had no winter
Oh.
coat.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, you know, so thankfully, one of my family members, my cousin's wife, donated me a coat, so I'd have a coat to wear. You know, I spent 2 days in the same clothes I worked in because I didn't have any clothes. You know, and that's just from what we went through. Like, again, their devastation is so much greater than what I went through. You know, and I worry about them folks. You know, my heart just goes out to them. I'm thinking all these things about food and shelter and warmth and blah 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 blah. I hope that waves of assistance keep pushing through their areas.
Right.
Because they're going to need it. Because you're right, you get that initial wave, and again, it's about people helping people, communities helping community. That's what usually helps people more than anything. But eventually, those people have to go back to work, and they have to go back to their lives, and then you're still left in your disaster, you know. And so I hope those waves of people just keep coming through, especially when they're going through these winter months.
I think we do that as I think we are, you know, like when the tragedy happens, you know, we all want to be that part and help out, you know, and I've seen so many, you know, coming down, you know, to North Carolina to help, and then like weeks later everybody else kind of goes on, but then they're still, and I think you could relate that to everything. I think you could relate that to even going to a funeral. You know, everybody comes to the funeral home and comforts and makes you feel good, which is very important, and it's part of the healing process. It really is.
Yeah.
But then the weeks later, whenever you go back to life, and let's say that person was a huge part of your life, or if you were a caretaker, you know what I mean, and your routine, not only have you lost your best friend, but you lost your, you know, the person that you had almost completely devoted your life to caretaking, you know, and you have those who are trying to figure out how to adjust their life to go on, you know. I think
it's like going from a lot of loud noise to complete silence.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And so I think that's in so many things that we do, but I love this, and I think then them coming in and let's say, you know, however long they stay there in North Carolina doing their part, and then I pray there's another state or someone who's coming with the next wave to help, because, you know, not till February, you know, we all know here that when we're without electricity for 6 hours, we're all barking.
Sure,
I mean,
that's right.
No, I mean, right?
And that's the life we've become accustomed to, and you're right. And so those luxuries for us now, or for those folks, I guess would be a better way of saying it. That's a luxury right now they don't have, and that's just a way of life we depend on that.
And I mean, they not only people's homes that they've lost, but they have lost major infrastructure, bridges, roads. Their businesses have been lost. You know, it's like when I was doing probably 4 or 5 years ago, when I was working on our emergency disaster plan for work, and I'm sitting there thinking about, you know, all these things, and I started counting up in my head. From my home in Pekin to my place of business in Salem, I crossed 7 bridges or overpasses.
Oh wow.
And in any route, you know, and so if even one of those is out, how am I going to get to my people?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And then if you take in, like, what if Highway 60 was devastated and it's gone? Highway 60 is gone. All the bridges are gone. How are we going to get there? You know, I don't own a 4x4. I don't own an off-road. How am I going to get there? How am I going to get to my family or my workers or my residents? How am I going to get there? You know, and it's like, it really makes you sit back and think, what would you do? You have nothing to do but walk. or hope that somebody comes along who has gas in a 4x4 or whatever to get you to the route. I mean, and that's just us on pretty much just flat rolling hills. Maybe these people are in mountains.
Yeah.
You
right,
know,
yeah.
where it's the donkeys and the mules that was getting supplies to them initially. You know, so it's like it's a whole different geographical world there that they're an extra stressor that they're dealing with. You know?
Well, you think about oxygen machines, you think about dialysis.
Right.
I mean, these people, insulin. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then, you know, they talked about IVs having, you know, some shortage because the big factory, the IV, or I don't know if you call it the IV factory, I don't know what you call it, but had been hurt or had been, you know, wiped out. So, and you know, I know that the medical, I don't want to put an alarm because the medical fields, they're very capable about bouncing back.
And they were dropping in supplies for the insulin, things like that.
Were they? Okay, awesome.
Yeah, when I seen that they started dropping in supplies at locations.
Good.
They were dropping in the medical needs and things like that. But, you know, and you know, Hoosier Helpers is helping one community. There were so many communities devastated, you know. So it's just like we can't forget about these folks. We can't forget about these folks. They're going to need us for a long time.
And then to rewind, and as great as this is in their efforts with Nick and his crews, you know, we have had some volunteers that did hit that first wave, and so we've had a lot of folks come together and send supplies, you know, and box it down or ship it down there and get it to them. And so, again, we've got a very giving community.
We do.
And I said it from my tornado, and I said it when you all, you know, had your floods here. I've said it all along, but especially since I had my tornado, it's about people helping people.
Right.
Like that is truly the grassroots of this country, is people helping people and communities helping communities that gets us back going again.
I agree.
It really is.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, you know, when you go through it, and I just for some reason I did see where Purdue, even Lafayette, they had like a parade, not a parade. I don't want to call it a parade because a parade is happy, but like what do you call it? They had a whole line of people, and they were like, Purdue's coming. You know what I mean? Lafayette. You know
like
what
a convoy.
Convoy. That's
Okay.
Yeah. Those are my words. They came down to help. You know what I mean? Which, so, you know, we as a state have really been, you know what I mean? And we know there's several other locals that's been helping too. But I love that we realize that, you know, North Carolina needs this, and I love that. And I think, you know, that it's a blessing. But I think we got much more to do. You know, still more to do.
I mean, because it was when Pekin and Borden and Henryville and all that got hit, people from Texas were feeding me. People from Texas were bringing me, you know, hot drinks or
Isn't that comforting? Isn't it like a hug? Isn't
people
like
from Indianapolis were coming down, clearing my driveway of the forest, you know.
Yeah.
And it was just everywhere. They were coming from everywhere to help our communities, you know, in Clark and Scott and Washington County.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
It's not just about those around us. It's the whole United States.
Yeah.
They're coming in from all the states, you know. So I think we know we have a great community. We talk about how great Salem and Washington County is all the time, but this country as a whole, I'm very blessed to live in this country.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and it is true. They come from everywhere, but as we can see, and I'm so glad that he brought that to the forefront. They're still not out of the woods. They still need help. They still need, you know, and whatever you can do, you know.
Yeah, they're not out of the woods yet.
No.
They have long, again, to rebuild all those roads and bridges. I mean, it's great that they're building the crosswalk, you know.
Yeah, sure.
But it's like the major infrastructure that is just gone.
Yeah.
You know, rebuilding that's going to take time.
Right, and you don't just build an interstate or a bridge over. Look at
No.
the mayor. The mayor's going, I don't think so.
No.
You know, I mean, those just don't pop right up and happen. You know, so. Anyway, well, I'm glad we got to talk to them this morning, and hopefully, again, 812-755-4696 if you want more information or if you want to help. And, of course, you know, financial, you know, to make sure that they can buy that gasoline, help gas, you know, and generators. I'm just thinking those generators, wow, I mean, talk about working overtime, you know.
Oh, my, right.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Or if you have a generator you want to donate, I'm sure they would.
Possibly,
yeah. So, all right, that's anyway. So good food for thought for sure. We're going over the days real quick. Today is also International Artist Day. Mayor, are you an artist? Can you?
Straight lines, sure.
Holly, what about you?
I feel like my artistry is in the form of cakes
And baking,
cake decorating and baking, and now I do my hand at other things like epoxy or different things, but my cake decorating is probably my art.
Well, the mayor and I, we challenge you. We want to see that, okay? Right, Mayor? we don't think so, Holly. We don't believe you. We want you to bake for us.
Can you report back in about an hour?
Yeah. Show us what you can do, Holly.
And again, it's my form of art. There's many more.
No, Holly can. Holly's fantastic. Yeah. Anytime you can get Holly food, you run. National Bandana Day.
Oh, I love bandanas.
Yeah,
I have
fun.
a whole drawer full of bandanas.
Yeah.
All different colors, rainbow colors.
Yeah, what are you going to do with those bandanas? I'm going to wear those bandanas.
I wear them.
Yeah, I know.
Weekend, that's what I wear on the weekend.
National Breadstick Day. Mary, you like breadstick?
Yeah, some not a big fan. But
Yeah,
okay.
but
Okay.
I do.
Yeah. National Cartoonist Against Crime Day. Love that. Like Popeye, it shows Popeye the Sailor Man.
Okay.
I'm strong to the finish, 'cause I eat me spinach. What's the matter? You guys, come on.
No, and see that's where I draw the line, because I don't like a lot of spinach. So.
But I thought you might jump in. On
Oh,
that, you know what I
sorry.
mean?
Yeah, the jingle. I could.
Okay,
Okay,
it's
the
not
jingle. Right.
Follow the dot. It's, jump in. Ooh, National Greasy Foods Day.
Well, yeah.
National I Care About You Day. How apropos, right?
Is.
Yeah. National Music Day. Love that. Can't get enough good music, right?
Yes, right.
I had an MRI the other day, and before you have an MRI, they'll say, well, first of all, you have to worry about having anything that might be magnetic. You know what I mean? Well, I wear earrings, so I'm like, oh my goodness, did I get everything off? You know what I mean? I'm like having to go over everything. You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, you're fine. So then they're like, you get it. So they're going to give you some headphones. So they're like, what kind of music do you want? Okay, so. I picked classic rock, okay? So I'm laying there and I can't move my legs, okay? You have to lay still, and and so the AC/DC comes on. Who doesn't want to tap their foot or move? And I thought I was so silly to pick.
Should have done classical or something.
Yes, I should have had something like.
Well, now that's interesting, because it must be on a loop, and you must got the good section, because I have a very similar story.
Okay.
Same way, and ask what genre you want. So I picked classic rock.
Okay.
And when it came through the headphones, I thought, well, if they call this classic rock, I don't know. I'd just soon not have anything. I'd take these off. It was horrible.
Oh no!
So you got the.
I got the good stuff. No, mine was really good.
Oh.
And yeah, when AC.
So I went.
Again, black.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, that's my jam. You know what I mean? I've got to get up here. You know.
Maybe you could be more specific, like 70s classic.
I don't know.
Pick the decade that you want. I don't know.
But no, mine was on point. Mine knew good. Mine knew really good. But it was funny, because then after all that, then it came the Eric Clapton. She looks wonderful tonight.
Oh, okay.
So I thought, well, praise God, I need that. Slow me down. You know what I mean? I need something to bring this down, because I'm ready to get up. Yeah. But I asked her. I said afterwards. I said, I don't think I did. Did I move? And she said, no, you didn't. But in my head, I kept thinking, did I tap that foot to? You know what I mean? How do you lay still to AC/DC?
You want to dance.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
But anyway, so note to self: if you do an MRI, my public service announcement is you might want to pick something classical, pick a genre that you're not gonna want to get up and I'm sorry, Mayor, you need a redo, because there's some good stuff. Okay?
Well, and this, do I go to sleep? What I'm going to do here, because this isn't working.
Yeah. National Pharmacy Buyer Day. Hats off to our pharmacies out there. Also, this is Sourest Day. Do you like sour candy, Mayor?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. What about
Sweet
you?
and sour, mix it.
I do. But not Warhead sour. Not that sour.
That's too extreme.
Like not cheeks squeezing in as far as they can sour, no.
Yeah. World Pasta Day. Mayor, what's your favorite kind of pasta?
Oh gosh, spaghetti, lasagna.
Oh.
Where do you stop? I mean, that's all.
Broccoli, chicken Alfredo.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Today is the buffet at Mama Rosa's, so yeah.
Here we go again.
I know. It happens.
Wait a minute, Holly's going to bake for us, and then we're going to buy. Boy, we got a full day.
That's exactly right. Well, you know what? We need to be fueled, because we got a lot to do today.
That's right.
That's right. We got a lot going on. Yeah. And you have the city of Salem. You've got a lot going on always. So, World Pasta Day. I think. Do you have anybody got a certain favorite?
I like it all, sadly. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Whatever's in front of me.
I mean, spaghetti's been the lifetime favorite
Yeah.
probably because it's, spaghetti.
Yeah.
You eat that what? Regularly?
Yeah.
I eat it regularly,
Yeah.
so probably spaghetti would be first.
Yeah, probably.
Plus, I put
Mm.
spaghetti and chili and stuff
And,
too.
and then that would include mac and cheese, wouldn't
Right,
it?
mac
Oh,
and cheese.
So, I
goody.
absolutely.
You know,
When
and,
it's real cheesy.
and that's its own food group, so,
Yes,
you
it
know,
is.
you've got to eat
Do
that.
you need anything else? No.
And there's so much you can add to mac and cheese.
That's right.
Oh,
So much.
World Pizza Makers Day. Well, there we. I'm telling you, the carbs are going. We're going to go strong with our carbs today,
I
right?
can hear Mama Rose is calling.
Yeah, the pizza.
you.
Yeah, all Holly and I have to
Pizza,
do. Then we'll
pasta.
see each other. Then we'll catch eye contact there. Yeah, yeah. It's yeah. So those are some holidays to get out and enjoy for sure. And pizza, pasta day, you can't go wrong. Today is the day. Might be
There
the
you
best
go.
day ever, right?
Yeah.
All right, we do real quick. We do have football action going on tonight. We have let me get this right. Salem Lions will be in action, and they're going to be playing. Oh, hold on. Is it Orleans? Am I right? I think I'm right. West Washington is going up to South Decatur. I always say it's North Decatur, but so don't go up too far.
I thought you were going to North Dakota or South Dakota.
No, it's Decatur. South Decatur. I want to call it North Decatur, but don't go up too far. You'll go too far if you go north. You gotta stay south. And then Eastern is playing Paoli. So, no, hang on, wrong. Salem's playing Clarksville. I knew that. Yeah.
Okay.
So we wish all three of our county teams full throttle tonight. We're going to be in action. All of the games will be going full throttle on WSLM, and our announcers are ready. They're chomping at the bit for the sectional, so should be fun time for football. What beautiful weather!
Oh my gosh,
Isn't-
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't this great?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've really been very blessed, haven't
Yeah.
we? Yeah. Do you and speaking of that, like when you drive through the city of Salem, or even the outskirts of the county, all around, are we so blessed? Look at these trees.
Yeah.
Aren't they just?
I didn't think we'd have a good year for color with the summer and the dry spells we went through. I don't know if that's always the truth or true indicator, but boy, the colors come in.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the persimmons have been good this year, and so we've been very blessed with the
I
fall.
love persimmon pudding. Is that a day, persimmon pudding day?
No, but not yet. But yeah, so does the mayor, and so do I. All three of us. So Holly, we don't believe you can fix one, right, Mayor?
I'm wondering.
Yeah, Holly, we don't believe that. We don't.
Love a good persimmon pudding.
So do we. Yeah, so do I.
Do you like the glaze on it or off?
I prefer
no.
No.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm.
okay.
I prefer no, but I'm not gonna.
I'm
be
a
mad.
no glaze.
Yeah.
But see, then that's when you get the whipped topping.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even want the whipped
Do
topping.
you not?
I
Okay.
just want the good,
All right.
moist, juicy, yummy persimmon pudding.
I do love the whipped topping though.
About 20 seconds in the microwave.
Oh. No, I don't
No?
even want a microwave.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm with any of that. I've seen people put it in a bowl and put milk all around it.
Mm.
The
Yeah.
creamy. What is
Yeah.
it? The vitamin D, the red label,
Mhm.
the red label. And I ain't even mad. I wouldn't any of it, you guys.
Listen,
Right.
Christina Bausman, who's my housekeeping director at work, she fixes her persimmon pudding pretty much exactly like my Granny Ruthford did.
Mhm.
And I lost Granny Ruth quite many years ago, and so every time Christina Bausman makes persimmon pudding, it reminds me of Granny. So Christina brought one in, Wednesday
Is there any left?
for our bake sale, and I bought the whole thing.
Oh,
Now, I've shared it with my team, but I bought the whole thing because I'm like, I gotta have this persimmon
Oh, that's
pudding.
good.
Yeah, I would too. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
great. That's good. Yeah,
So good.
definitely. So good. So
Because
good.
when you find something that is like your granny's,
Mhm.
you don't want to miss out on that, right?
Right.
Because not everybody fixes their persimmon pudding the same.
No.
Not everybody, it's like chili. Not everybody fixes it the same.
Oh, that's for
true.
sure.
That
And I'm
is
very
true.
particular about my persimmon pudding, so, it's all good.
Yeah, all good. Sounds great. Holly, I'm going to go back. We're bouncing all around here this morning, but what a wonderful fundraiser you and your team, and this is for another fundraiser that was very near and dear to our heart here in our community. And
Yep. So myself and my department heads, after one of our team members lost his son tragically, we chose to do a bake sale in his honor to raise money for his scholarship for his son, and we all pitched in. it was all employee based. Like, we purchased everything. We purchased the chickens. We purchased everything, all the meals, baked all the goods. The employees chipped in and baked goods. We had community members bring baked goods in. And so we just wanted to show Scott how much we love him and we're thinking about him, and we just wanted to help in Bryce's honor in any way we could. So we did the bake sale and the barbecue for Bryce, and we raised $4,000. And it was just, I cried.
Yeah,
of course I cried.
Absolutely,
But I just cried. And then I got, I ordered bracelets, and those came in yesterday, just a day late, but I ordered bracelets, and I'm selling those for $5 each, and that will go towards Bryce Gerlach's scholarship fund as well in his memory. So,
well, yeah.
Took me a minute to make the connection. Pardon me.
Yeah, I think that everybody from our community and surrounding communities, we've all been, our hearts are all been just heavy with this, and I think we, it's been very hard and and I love that Holly, you actually got off of a trip, and remember, you were actually on the road and saying, I'm trying to organize something, and boy, I mean, this is a God thing. No, Holly, really, because you were like days before trying to organize this, and you weren't even in this community. No. You weren't even in this state.
No, I was traveling. I was making a 17-hour drive from Massachusetts back home to Indiana.
Yeah.
And organizing this.
Yeah. And then it comes through.
But with the help of my team.
Well,
I put the call out and said, this is what I want to do. How can we? And I have an amazing team. And again, our community is just amazing. Because people were bringing in baked goods from the community, that baking breads and desserts, and everybody just pitched in. So it's not just a Holly thing. It's us thing. Yeah. And but yeah, 17-hour drive. I'm like sitting there trying to organize a bake sale, because I knew that I and my team, and we just wanted to do something to show Scott how much we love him and how much we support him, and we just wanted to help. We just wanted to help.
Yeah.
We just wanted to help. So I'm amazed. I'm truly amazed. I mean, because and of course we sold out of we always sell out of our chickens pre-sale, but we sold out of those, which was kind of heartbreaking a little bit, because people were coming by wanting chickens. We're like, we're sorry, we're already sold out,
Right.
But people just, when they come in and they were buying baked goods or their chickens or whatever, just like keep the change, and people just, and there's still donations coming in, so I'm trying not to cry, okay?
I know.
But we've just been, I just want Scott to feel our arms around him, how much we love him and care for him. He is, I consider him my work brother,
Yeah.
And I've been with Scott for 12 years now, working side by side with him, and he's been such a blessing to my residents. He is one of the best therapists that I know, and has performed miracles on some of our residents in the care and the therapy he provides. And if you've ever heard Scott talk in his stories, and he's such a giving human being, and Bryce was raised to be like him, and so again, we're just there to try to support in any way we can and show him that his work family loves him.
I love that so much. Well, and I think, money's fantastic, but the showing the outpour of the community is what he needed. He feel that hug.
Yes.
And you think about a physical therapist, they have to be so encouraging. They have to be that person that you have to have a fine line where you kind of force someone to get up and, or do, but also you have to have that charm and that heart to get them to do it, and such a giver, and that takes a lot of giving.
Yes.
A lot of giving and a lot of motivation.
Totally. And now it's time for us to give back and show their family how valuable and how much they mean.
In watching Scott through this, he has shown me another true definition of what strength is.
Yeah, I can't even. Yeah. Well, I'm very, very happy about that, Holly. Yeah,
me too.
what a blessing.
Thank you to our community. Thank you for those who donated baked goods. Thank you to those who came and purchased or just gave. Thank you all so much. Again, Salem, Washington County, and even the outskirt communities. You're amazing, and we just thank you so much.
Yeah, that's exactly right. All right, thank you for that, Holly. I appreciate that for sure. All right, Mayor, let's talk about some things going on. We just talked about how the Wandering Indiana is absolutely, hopefully everybody can get in their car, get moving around and wander and see the beautiful, and we've got Lake Celinda out there just shining itself, isn't it?
You bet. And so, you know,
that's so beautiful.
That leads to two thoughts for our listeners. We do have leaves to think about in the near future.
Ooh, yes.
So, no, there is not a scheduled pickup time and date yet for our leaf collection throughout the city. But we may pick up a few before Halloween. Some of our main streets that are go-to spots for our trick-or-treaters have more than average trees, and so we probably will hit those few spots first. So you might see a lull then before we get the truck back out, but hopefully they all come down in succession, and we won't have a long exaggerated period where we've got to keep picking up leaves. Sometimes it depends on the rain, and if it rains more, they'll come down quicker. You know how that is. But anyway, so that's on the horizon.
Well, and I want to put a pin in that for a second. For those new maybe to the community, not every community does this. We are so blessed.
No, they do not.
So what the mayor, I don't think people, somebody from another community might be saying, what's he even talking about?
Sure.
Okay. If you rake your leaves and you bring them to the end of the curb.
Without the street.
Bring them
to the edge of the curb.
Edge of the curb.
That's right.
Yes.
Goodness.
Then this, almost like this, talking about Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
Machine comes with a big hose.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you talk about
It is.
If I see, so blessed to have these services. Let me just tell you.
Let me just say the two people that are working this truck, I wish they would have a thing 1 and thing 2 hat on.
Yeah, right.
Because no, I mean, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Because this is a Dr. Seuss. No, it's going to be sucking up all of these. If you've watched the process, it's really cool. Sucking up all of these leaves. You know what I mean? For our community, and this is not very many communities do this.
No, they do not.
And it is a lot of I won't say it's not necessarily physical work, but it's very time consuming.
Absolutely.
It's a slow process, and again, we scour the town, and you cannot be on the same street every 2 or 3 days. You know, we've got to make a route, if you will, and try to get everybody's, and then go back and pick what we missed, and go back and pick up what we missed again. And so
it
it's
has a cost associated with it for the people running the machines, for the gas that goes in there.
Oh, sure.
I mean, the cost.
Yeah.
But it is something we need to do, certainly, and we have a large amount of trees in our community, and that's a good thing.
Yeah,
that's not a negative,
right.
but we do want to maintain and keep up on that. So yes, leaf season is upon us. So I just want to make that statement. Nothing definitive yet, but we might before the 31st hit a few of the high spots.
Right. And I do want to talk about that, but I want to remind everybody, since we're let's come to my forefront. We are under a burn ban. So remember, the burn ban is back on. We did have when we had the remnants from the hurricane, we did have a good rain, but it just absorbed right in. Mother Earth sucked it right down.
That's right. We're still well below our needs and our averages, if you will, and so right. Good point.
Okay.
Don't want to burn.
Yeah, no burning. So don't burn those leaves. Don't have those s'mores. You know, I mean, not yet, not right now. But anyway, so the leaf. So if they can, you know, rake them up, get them close to the curb as possible, and something will be done.
And that's key. I guess I want to hit on that just for a second, Becky, because the machine and the chute that's attached to it, you know, has a lot of travel length, if you will, and so it will come and get to your yard. So our equipment will reach it.
Okay.
You know, and that's when they're in the street, then there's more problems with those leaves than moving down to the storm grates and then clogging the storm gutters.
We don't want that.
No, so the edge of the curb is perfect.
Okay, awesome. All right, anything else we got going on then?
Well, that segue for the city, the official trick-or-treat date is always October 31st, and so I just wanted to remind everybody, because, and this is, Becky, you can shine a light on this, we've got a lot of things in our community prior to October 31st, but still, for the door-to-door, the kiddos in their outfits going down the streets, that is still October 31st, 6 to 8.
Yeah, perfect. And I love that. I think that's perfect timing. I think 6 to 8 o'clock, everyone get home, get some of that makeup wiped off.
Wow.
And
two Kit Kats, 3 Twinkies, and then okay,
no, you're right.
It's time for bed.
Peanut M&Ms
Yeah,
on the way home.
right.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, all of that. But so I think 8 o'clock, yes, and it's bedtime. You know, we got to get to bed and get ready because it is a school night. But I think 6 o'clock is beautiful. I think it's perfect timing, and looks like we're gonna have a nice night for that. We know that kids get happy, and my girls always got so happy. So it's kind of, if you can have some kind of reflective clothing on them, make sure I get whatever their outfits are, but kind of have, and they have the really cute, the little glow in the dark necklaces and jewelry you can put on your children. And also for our drivers, when you're going through, we know Main Street is like such a huge
Main Street, Water Street
yes,
are
all
big
huge,
arteries. Yeah.
Right. So, also when you're traveling, I want to remind everybody, make sure you use precaution too, because a child might get excited, and, we just want to make sure everybody stays safe. Yeah.
So 2 points to that. You're right, Becky. So our drivers, please drive with caution, drive a little slower, have a little patience, and there'll be some delays. This is the nature of people trying to park and merge and yield. So please be patient and drive a little slower and cautious. And then to the parents and the kiddos, parents go with the kids. There's a lot of, well, I know neighbor Joe 2 doors down, they can walk down. Well, that's true, but 3 or 4 houses on, please stay with your kids and try to be mindful of where they're at. And, that safety's key.
Right. And I think it's cool when families, when they all go together, and maybe, the parents go ahead and dress up too, or they all do a family.
I used to love dressing up with the kids walking around.
Yeah, like doing that kind of a theme or something, whatever. But if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. But, but like you said, stay with the children. That's exactly right, yeah.
Be a kid at heart then.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
And because there's the ancillary benefit, the candy ratio, I think, then comes to the adult.
Yes.
So
well, you have to check it out.
You got so 2 for kids, 1 for the adult or the parent, and so it's a win-win.
Definitely. And speaking of that, this weekend we do have our Boo Bash coming on, and that'll be at the Stevens Museum. And Mayor, I know you're very proud, and I know Holly and I are too. We've got such a beautiful facility at the museum.
Beautiful.
And the layout, looks like the weather's going to be perfect for
yes,
this.
It does.
So we want everybody to come and walk around the grounds there, and
Tomorrow. Hey.
Crazy, I know.
Tomorrow.
Isn't it? I know. Tomorrow. Yes. So and that'll be from 5 to 6:15, and that gives everyone time. At 6:15, we're going to blow out the lights and head up to the square for the big parade.
That's right. Halloween parade is tomorrow evening as well.
Yeah. And Mayor, there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes with everything.
Well, there is, and we talked about volunteers a few moments ago, and that's another example. The city certainly encourages the parades, and we want to be good supporters on whatever we can do to block the streets and have the officers on standby and make the event go seamlessly and very smooth, and it does. It takes a lot of volunteers, and the Halloween parade's no different, and those folks that are putting that together are doing a great job, and I'm sorry I cannot tell you. I think this is the 4th or 5th year.
Yeah,
Pardon me, Becky. Maybe
yeah,
okay.
Right, yeah.
And so it got a lot of traction, and people really enjoy it, and so yeah, it does.
Who doesn't love a parade?
Well, that's right.
I know.
That's right.
Well, and they go all out. I mean, they have some really creative and fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun groups. So so we need to give. Our police chief Eric and all of the policemen a lot of Snickers.
A lot of Snickers.
Get them or something. We need some candy for these guys. We need some Reese cups.
That's
we
right.
Need some, they need a lot of energy that night, right? Coffee. Put a coffee in their hand. Keep them going. There's a lot going on for sure. But it can be so much fun.
Sure.
And that's what it's about. You know what I mean? Having fun, having a great time, and that'll be Saturday. And I hope everyone comes out. Also, then. then we'll keep. I'll have an event of everything going on. I don't want to speak on everything. There's a lot going on.
There's a lot
this
going
weekend.
on. Yes.
And then of course again actual Halloween night from 6 to 8, the city of Salem.
Correct.
I think others are kind of going with you on that too. I think I've heard other cities that are or areas that are going for that time too. I think that's a good time. It gives you, well, where you try to get where it's still light out.
Yeah.
And again, the safety of making sure you go to homes and just be aware of everything.
That's true.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, well, it looks like it's going to be a great year for trick or treating.
Yeah.
Great year, and so looking forward to that. All right, and we got some beautiful areas too, and just to visit and to walk. We got Riley's Park too. Right. Yeah. And it's a beautiful area.
You bet.
And gearing up, getting ready for the fall for that. I know a lot of people can rent out the
shelter house.
The shelter house for
Correct.
Family get-togethers, which is beautiful.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Nice.
It's great for birthday parties.
There it is. Yeah.
I
That's
can
right.
speak from experience.
Okay.
It's great for birthday parties.
Yeah. Well, they can get out there and run out that energy. Yeah.
Burn a little off. That's right.
Yes.
So, no, that's going on. What else? Anything else?
Well, speaking of in that area, I did want to share with our listeners, Becky, that next week, by chance Wednesday, it could be Thursday, the NDOT detour route, which was West Market Street here in Salem for the Highway 56 West project that we all remember.
Yes, yeah.
A very major project. When you talk about infrastructure, Holly, 56 West was a major infrastructure project, and so Becky, you allowed me to share a lot of that with your listeners, and we did agree to a local detour route, and NDOT, Indiana Department of Transportation, scoped that out, and we agreed on West Market Street, and that came with the provision of repair at the end of the project, and the assessment would be, what needs fixed and what did get damaged. And so, like a lot of things, you have to go through the process, and so we are ready for that now. I know it seems like there's been a lot of days, weeks, months passed since then, but we are ready now to start that. And so next week you'll see some milling machines on West Market Street, and so that's our reimbursement from the state and getting that roadway fixed. Took a lot of abuse. That road, thank goodness we had that road. First of all, it gave us an option to get to and from on the west side of our community and back into town. So West Market and Tar Avenue was the official detour, and so we're getting those dollars put together to fix those areas. So you will see some equipment, and please, I don't want our listeners to say, oh my gosh, not another road project. No, this is very minor. This is one of those, yes, there'll be some lane shifting, and they'll flag and certainly have the contractors letting motors through. It won't be shut. They'll have a way of getting through. Should not be a long project. That's one of those. It's repairing the damage. So.
Well, I think anybody that lives on that strip, that Market Street, all that, welcome this.
I think so.
Because they and if it wasn't done, then they would say, well, you told us it was going to be done. So actually, it's pretty fast, actually.
In some ways, I guess that's true.
No, I mean, really, if you think about it, to get it fixed, and I'm sure they're going to be very happy. And now that we have the actual open,
right,
you don't have to go that route. You can go other routes.
Please, you could stay on 56. That's right. So that's one of those. If
you want to avoid that,
you avoid it. Please go the normal route.
Yeah. Now that it's and it looks nice, and it did. It was a little bit of a maybe learning and maybe a little bit of inconvenience, but actually I thought it was kind of cool because maybe some of the houses that I didn't go by as much, I saw more. You know what I mean? And got to see. And I thought it it was a very scenic route. So you look at the positives, and it's something that allowed this other to be done, and now the other's done, so you can go on that if you want. There's plenty of other avenues. Yeah.
And and again, I've said this before, Becky, and you've allowed me to comment on these projects, whether it be 56 West or even the Main Street corridor, but it's still an investment in our infrastructure. And gosh, Market Street is no different. That's a nice corridor that we want to maintain and keep nice. And so. Gosh, let's fix the damage.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think anybody that lives on there, lives in that area, will be very happy. about that. So I think
Yeah.
that's a great thing. Good. I love that. And they're
The
talking about
end result will be worth it.
There it is.
yeah,
You
trust
know?
the process, right?
Trust the
Hey.
process.
We say that enough. And I think I think they, I'm so happy they're doing what they said they would do.
Mhm.
They promised and
Mhm.
they'd fix it, and they're doing that. So that's great. Good
Mhm.
news. Good to
Mhm.
hear that.
And remember, patience is a virtue.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and there's
Be
not a
patient with the
community one
process.
that didn't have growing pains. You
Right.
you
Oh,
travel. If you go
that's
to
right.
different, there's we're not so unique that we're the only ones.
No. No.
And I went to one and it took me down I was on the right tour. It was pretty crazy tour, but and I'm not going to mention the community. Good for them, and it's going to pay off. I'm sure they're trusting the process too. So,
Yeah.
but there's others, and again, when the state did this was them saying we want to invest in your community.
Correct.
This is them giving
Correct.
to our community. And so, when you're allowed that, it's just like when you're given a gift, you receive it, and what a blessing that's been, yeah. So, a lot of updates, a lot of fixing up, and a lot really looks nice.
Mhm.
Looks,
Mhm.
very pretty. So,
Yeah.
good.
So
I appreciate the report on
you
that.
bet.
Yeah.
You bet.
All right. Anything else going on?
Well, I'll add to that. I know our time's getting
Wow, it does go
close.
fast, I know.
But the other side of Salem, the other side of town, where I've got the Elizabeth Street project going, so that is ongoing, listeners, and that is starting to take shape. There's a concrete curb that's been poured now, and we've got the new storm gutters installed and grates. Some water line connections that were moved to make way for the new road bed. That again is going to be a very nice project, and so I have mentioned taking the dog leg out, and I've had a couple people say, well, what do you mean by dog leg? So pardon me, sometimes my country hick comes out. So yes,
I knew exactly what you're talking about, though, Holly. We knew that, didn't we?
But
yeah.
Ladies, we share the same backgrounds. But the severe S curve, and it's not really even an S curve. It's just almost it's really 290 degrees there where the railroad crosses Elizabeth Street. So that's what we're doing. We're taking out those severe turns, and so that'll be a sweeping, grazing approach through Elizabeth, and no longer have those hard turns.
How nice. I've tried to I had to take a horse trailer.
Oh yeah.
And I've seen many horse trailers go through there. And if you've done a horse trailer through there, you know what I mean? That's
well, and then even in passenger cars, they get close enough. I know we have stories of people smacking mirrors.
I know.
They get it's just not a wide enough approach, and
usually it's not there's not a high five.
Well, we won't get
into
in
language, but not a high five.
We won't get into that signature wave, but anyways, and it's a nice cut through. It is used a lot. That is a connector road, if you will, to get to the other side on 56 East, and just a lot of traffic. And so this project's really good. It's very timely with the construction of the Monon South Walking Trail, and so that's one reason it's happening now.
Awesome.
We had to wait and get some things approved on their end that they agreed with what we're doing, and now we got to get out of their way before next spring. So that's what's going on Elizabeth Street.
Okay, well that makes sense.
Wonderful.
It's going to be good. I think a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people will be very grateful for that.
Yeah.
It's going to be, for those newbies, they won't know what all we
Oh,
went through.
isn't that right? Isn't that right? Yeah. Goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's going to be great, and also it works out well, because it kind of leads up to our fairgrounds.
Absolutely.
And all the activity that goes
Yeah.
on there, and people take that route a lot, so that works out great.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else that we?
Goodness, let's see. Speaking on the Monon South, just as a reminder that is progressing, and
It really is.
So you will see intermittently in different locations on the 58 miles, and again, the 58 miles being all the way through down from Lawrence County into Clark County. There's a lot of us communities in this project, and so there's various crews working at different times and different speeds, and there actually is some asphalt already laid in some of the areas. We aren't scheduled to get asphalt until spring, and that's okay. It's a total project, and the trailheads are yet to be built as well, and we have one here in Salem at the South Main Crossing will be the new trailhead for us. So just keep an eye on that project. I know there's a lot of interest, myself included. It's going to be a great asset for the community, for southern Indiana as well. We know it's going to drive a lot of visitors and very beneficial to our local businesses, and it's just a good effect, if you will. It just promotes Salem and Washington County in a lot of ways, and for our own use. We all need other healthy living initiatives, myself included. Hey, get out of that recliner and take 10 minutes to walk. Well, here's new scenery.
Right.
If you're tired of your old walking routine or need something new to see, this will be a great way to do it, because you can go virtually anywhere and get on.
Love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put those cookies down.
Oh gosh. Thanks. All right. We'll do.
Put that persimmon pudding away.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I'll walk right after I eat this.
That's right.
No.
Welcome to a brand new hour of the Rick and Bubba Show with Eddie Van Adler, Speedy, the real Greg Burgess, Bill Bubba Bussey, and Rick Burgess.
Thank you very much, Ken Osborne. 6 minutes past, Big Boy Studio, we're rolling. As you heard, the gang is all here today. And we also welcome back some people that have been here before, but also say hello to new people in the golden ticket seats today.
Yeah, the Elite 10.
The Elite 10. The terrific 10.
Yeah.
So
they're 11, actually.
11. I can't rhyme anything.
counters.
I don't have a good E-word
Elite
for
11.
Yeah, Elite 11. That's good, yeah. So how many of you have been to either studio before? Okay. How many of you have been to this studio before? Okay, good too. How many never been to any studio? First time here to do? Okay, good. That's most everybody. Well, welcome. Enjoy the hour, and we'll give you an opportunity to spin the wonderful wheel of canned meat. Let's face it, that's on everybody's bucket list.
Sure.
So that's coming up a little bit later on. Rock and Roll City will also play for us today as well.
Did you see the Canadian Prime Minister?
No, what he did?
You didn't see what he tweeted out?
No.
Okay. Justin Trudeau.
Oh, yeah.
He tweeted
Castro's boy.
a written statement. Yeah. Fidel's boy.
Yeah.
We're going to significantly reduce the number of immigrants coming into Canada for the next 2 years.
Whoa.
This is temporary, but we need to pause our population growth to let our economy catch up. We have to get the system working right for all Canadians.
What a
racist! So even
xenophobe. Xenophobic.
Even a left politician in Canada has said, we're getting overrun here, guys. We got to put a hold on this. And he tried to do it in the nicest way possible. It's temporary. We're just going to let our economy catch up. Why didn't anybody in America say that? Because they're coming through here to get to there.
At a much higher rate.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, we've talked about this the time we used the analogy, and it wasn't ours. I forget who said it. And they said when you're a socialist and you're all feeling, all loving, a socialist lives their life looking at the world like the child who wants a pony. They just want a pony. They have no idea what it takes. They don't have any idea how much manure that'll generate. They don't know how much it costs to keep it corralled. They don't know how much the food costs. They don't know how much the pony itself costs. They don't have the veterinarian bills. They don't have any idea about any of that. They just want a pony. And so that's the way they are. Look, I will admit this. I like the idea of having a pet. I just don't like the reality of it. I love the idea of it, but I don't like all the maintenance that goes with it and all the things you have to do. And then you realize, the idea of having this animal versus Greg, I don't even know what pets have done to you. I'm shocked that you remain to have you continue to have them.
I'm down to 2.
But same thing. What Trudeau
They didn't buy the painters though.
is finding out, Bubba, is that an unvetted border is not a good idea for now. He's saying, well, good night. We're getting overrun with people, and I got to start thinking about the people who are Canadians. Well, yeah. That's why nations have borders where they control immigration.
That's why we have nations.
Yeah. So once again, another socialist idea that feels good and it sounds good, and my heart just flutters about opening the gate